Actually, I think the 5 or 10 years ago, the location service is a very vertical solution or application.
Yes.
For example, to point out where we are in the small maps.
Yeah.
But now, from the standpoint of the carriers, we should be a kind of the platformer. Just we provide some location information for application, for example, for Square or some other application, or even in our own service, area or concierge. It is very unique service, but using the application use API from the network. They are very unique service built on our platform. That we just carry the platform, the information. The application can get very easily the information and build up a very unique application.
Are you seeing that in particular application areas or generally? Are you seeing
generally, maybe the localization or local, for example, where is a good restaurant, or for example, the pushing the wall services for individual one in the localizing for Tokyo, Osaka, or the Sapporo, or some information about some last train. You have to catch up. Last train time is a very important information for us because I have to return to my house in Tokyo. When we drink in the sake at the outside, we have to catch up the last train. It's a very serious problem. But where you are is the different catch-up train, right? It is a very serious and very important problem for business people. But maybe it does not come up here from the vertical solution. It's a platform and application coming from this application.
Right.
I mean, this is what I call the mashup. This is the, and, this is back to an opportunity for little startups now. Is this, okay, I got maps, but I want to mash it up with the traffic indicator, or I want, when's that bus schedule? What time do I need to get to the bus station? So there's a whole opportunity around mashups. How is that going to happen? Who's going to have all this information that the app developers can actually get their hands on and give you in a interesting way?
Well, it creates a whole area around just analysis. You think about it, as we start to have, location, time, individual, you start to have a lot of dimensions. You're tracking a huge number of things. Now, if you added machines, you add sensors, figuring out patterns, so your data mining opportunity is huge in terms of understanding how patterns can be optimized, how you do it. I mean, one of our customers, Dublin Bus, they did this in tracking people, tracking their buses, their timing to traffic, and they literally figured out which routes were most effective. They actually figured out how to change routes that now would actually meet the needs of the number of people joining at that moment to go a particular direction and, in essence, optimize the service. But that really took capturing a lot of data with not necessarily knowing the exact outcome, then mining it to figure out, in essence, an optimal pattern. And I think that for enterprises, that actually, there's a huge market for people to do better business intelligence by adding location, time, 2 dimensions, so that you can kind of build, in essence, heat maps or optimization.
I think that in general the business to consumer space is about to explode these days. I think that the consumers have the right devices today to enable that. It might be the iPhone or Android phone or whatever. It has all the ingredients, and it's just about finding the right kind of innovation in terms of the service and how to collect all the data and provide you with added value. I think that the business kind of productivity side or the general IT business is somewhat still behind, and there is some real value that can be extracted. For example, a lot of time I'm interested to kind of, to retrieve the document that I was working with when I was, meeting with somebody. I remember that I was meeting with somebody. I don't remember when it was and what exactly was the name of the document. So I would like to have location-based retrieval, for example, or proximity-based retrieval, for example, of documents. So this is just one, maybe very, specific example of what can be done in the business productivity arena if we had, the right environment, the right framework. I still think that standardization is something that should be kind of handled if we want to really go there big. I think that we should have the right ingredients in the right devices, and I think that we need to resolve the security and privacy issues that are part of this whole phenomenon. If we can do that, then I think that there is a potential to capitalize on a big opportunity.
And I can add that, I can say that Cisco IT department is actively looking at indoor location and what can be done for productivity. So I think the IT departments are now, this is on the radar, they're trying to get the productivity and the ROI down on why it makes sense to deploy these apps. Right. They've got, I can tell you, they got visions like hold up your iPhone, your phone to the conference room. It should automatically tell you if that conference room is available, and productivity things in that line that they have visions that should justify the cost of getting all this information available.
Are there any comments from the audience on that? Any thoughts about the significance of location awareness for your own businesses, or where you see things coming from? Any thoughts there? Don't worry if not, but if there are, it'd be quite interesting. Sorry, yeah.
I just have a question regarding the documents. I'm just kind of curious when you're talking about documents that are location-based, if you can kind of tell me what type of thoughts you have in terms of what would be the occasions that people would use that. I'm from GPS World Magazine.
Right. I think you started with that one. So.
Yeah, so this is the concept of geocoding. And the question is, well, if I can geocode a document, and there's a lot of technicals how you do that securely, like financial records, right? If you have a file that has the salary of all the employees and all their, you may not want that document opened only in certain places, right? You may not want that document open on a plane where someone can look over your shoulder and see it. You may not want someone to be able to walk in your office and open, that if it's in your car. Financial records too, they're thinking securely. If I can geocode any documents in the healthcare industry, the healthcare industry has HIPAA, what they call HIPAA requirements. They take security very seriously of any records that get out, to get out in the public. So those are these are things I've heard from, or I would say little startup type of guys who, have looked at the power of geocoding things, geocoding documents. The question is, do IT departments see that at value? Is that, would an IT department actually pay for that?
Was there some other thoughts on that?
No, I totally agree with that direction. I was talking about something that is more productivity related, like people tend to remember the location in which something happened versus the date or some other attribute. So if you can have that as part of your generic search criteria, it would help to increase productivity. So this is another kind of very day-to-day kind of application.
And the other thing I would add is people are into this cloud concept, right? That you're connected now. The other thing that's happening, network connectivity is becoming much more pervasive. You're just connected almost everywhere you go right now. Korea, Japan, if you go to Korea and Japan, I forget, I had some gentleman from Korea, it's like, you can get coverage on any mountain. You can be climbing a mountain, you're going to get network coverage in Korea right now. So that enables a whole new set of services, right? You talk about geocoding documents. It's also being connected to the network, right? It's like that document's not going to get opened unless you're connected to the network. The network can validate, where you are before you open it.
That's interesting, Phil. Any other thoughts from the audience? Yeah. Oh, but better wait till the microphone comes so that we can all hear you.
I have a question for Maeda-san. Not many people know that DOCOMO was actually a pioneer in location-based services, and as he said, deployed it with PHS network. It'll be interesting to see what are the kind of services which succeeded and what are the areas where it didn't take off in the Japan environment, and where is now Japan in terms of location-based services relative to the rest of the world?
Yeah, our most successful application in the location service is, as I said, such a concierge service, like some catching last train or the coupon from the location service. If you're walking out some department house is some sales, you can get some coupon from the inside or outside, or you are in some fast food, you can get some coupon from McDonald's or something. I think such as the iMode concierge service is the most biggest successful application.
Yeah.
And as I said, such the force care or something. But on the other hand, for example, our data says that women doesn't like to have an account for force care. It's a trend that they are not so likely to be some user of the location service. It's very interesting. It might be some stalker problems, a privacy problem or something. Yeah, I'm not sure there's some reason.